Hi, my name is Adam Huey. I'm a student intern this summer with NOMS in SIA. Thank you for helping on the NOMS Goats 2019 study. This recording will review Fecal Collection by Rectal Retrieval for PreDeworming Kit A collection for the biologic portion of the study. In this video, we will show you all of the kit's contents, review collection instructions, demonstrate rectal retrieval of fecal material and FMACHA scoring, and review completion of the necessary paperwork and shipment procedures. The fecal samples submitted will undergo testing to look for common gastrointestinal nematodes found in goats. In conjunction with the second fecal collection, a fecal egg count reduction test will be performed to examine anthelmintic treatment efficacy. Results from the pre-deworming and post-deworming collection will be returned to the producer, along with a fecal egg count reduction and an estimated efficacy of their deworming protocol based on the reduction test. As a reminder, samples can be collected on any day of the week. However, samples can only be shipped Monday to Wednesday. Samples must be kept cool in the refrigerator until the next shipping day. Our number one priority here at NOMS is to ensure you and the goats are safe. If you or the producer are not comfortable collecting from a specific goat, then do not collect the samples. To minimize repeat handling and animal stress, it is recommended you collect all needed samples from one animal before moving on to the next animal. To ensure that the goats are kept safe, we recommend reviewing the proper goat restraint video on our website. Lastly, as a reminder, goats are very curious creatures. Be sure to maintain all of your supplies and samples in a safe location from the goats, such as a tool belt or pockets or outside of the goat pen. This kit will be used to collect samples and record information for the first phase of the deworming biologics. It includes 25 small Whirl-Pak bags, a tube of lubricant, 2 ice packs, a liner bag, 1 medium insulated cooler, and a paperwork packet. The paperwork packet includes submission forms, labels, and an airbill addressed to Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You will need to provide your own gloves for this collection process, using clean gloves for each goat to prevent cross-contamination of the samples. Samples are to be collected Sunday to Wednesday. Only collect samples from goats that have not received deworming products in the previous 60 days. We recommend then deworming all animals at the time of sample collection. The numbers of samples collected is based on the number of resident goats on the operation. Goats sampled should represent the goat and kid population of the operation in terms of age, sex, breed, and use. We also recommend including goats that the owner believes are likely to have worms. Use the chart found in the provided handout to determine sampling numbers. In an operation with 19 or less goats, you will sample all animals. An operation with 20 to 49 goats will need a sample size of 20 individuals. In an operation with 50 or more goats, you will sample 25 goats. From each goat, we want to collect 5 to 6 fecal pellets. Rectal sampling is preferred, but may not always be possible, for example, pre-weaned kids. Samples fresh from the ground are an acceptable alternative if needed. Write the goat's name or ID on a label and attach it to the small Whirl-Pak bag once you have placed the sample inside. Samples must be fresh, not petrified, and do not exclude diarrhea samples. If a sample cannot be associated with a specific goat, write no individual goat in the column for name or ID, but complete as much of the rest of the information as possible. It is worth noting, though, that only identified goats with pre-deworming sample submission will be tested in the post-deworming phase of the study. If you will be deworming the animals at the time of collection, please include the used dewormer tube label or insert the sample shipping box that is sent to the lab. To avoid contamination of the samples by organisms commonly found on the ground, rectal retrieval is the best. It may not be possible in some goats, however, so fresh, off-the-ground samples are an acceptable alternative. We will now look briefly at the steps involved in rectal sampling of fecal material. The goat will need to be physically restrained. For a quick review, please see the video titled Proper Goat Restraint. If you have a partner or assistant, they can help with this, leaving you to focus on sample collection. If no assistant is available, you can stand facing the side of the goat, use one hand just below the shoulder to restrain the animal against your legs, and use your other hand to collect the sample. Apply lubricating jelly to the glove before entering the rectum. Lightly stroking the rectum might encourage defecation. Collect samples as discussed in the collection instructions. You may need to collect more than one sample depending on the purpose of the study, placing the pellets in the small Whirl-Pack bags as needed. Express all of the air from the bag. Label and seal the bags as described previously. While each goat is properly restrained for fecal collection, we recommend completing a FAMACHA score. For a complete overview of the FAMACHA technique, please review the University of Rhode Island FAMACHA videos. Here, we will just quickly demonstrate how to expose the mucous membranes of the lower eyelid for FAMACHA scoring. To start, move to the front of the goat and cover the eye by rolling the upper lid down over the eyeball. Then, push down on the eyeball with enough pressure so that the upper eyelashes are curling over your thumb. Pull down on the lower eyelid at the same time you are applying pressure to the upper eyelid. This will cause the mucous membranes to pop into view. Use the FAMACHA scorecard to score the bed of the mucous membranes. Continue collecting fecal samples from other goats, being sure to use a clean glove for each animal, and then complete a FAMACHA score. Using a ballpoint pen, record samples on the appropriate lines and complete all information requested. For column 2, indicate the goat's name or ID, such as an ear tag or neckband number. For column 3, indicate the animal's age in months or years. For column 4, indicate the goat type using the options provided. Only complete column 5 if type 1 or 2 is selected in the previous column. Provide the date in the month, day, year format. For column 6, indicate the breed of this particular animal using the codes found at the bottom of each collection form page. For column 7, indicate the FAMACHA score using the supplied reference card as needed. If a FAMACHA score is not completed, place a dash in the box. For column 8, indicate the number of times the individual has been dewormed in the last 12 months, not including today. For column 9, indicate the dewormer used at the last deworming prior to this study, using the codes listed on the reference card. For column 10, indicate the dewormer used at the time of this fecal collection, using the codes listed on the reference card. For column 11, indicate the body condition score for the animal using the scale provided in the form. At the top of each page for the collection form, you will find some additional information that is required. The NOMS ID number for the operation, the Fecal Kit A number, the collection date, the name and contact number of the primary collector, the number of goats total on the operation, and the total time spent collecting the samples. Once completed, you will send the white copy to the lab and leave the yellow copy with the producer. The producer can then use this yellow copy and match animal IDs when they collect the post-deworming samples. Open Post-Deworming Kit B and go through the instructions with the producer. Fill out the NOMS ID and list the goat IDs in the same order as Kit A. Place all extra loop into Kit B. Shipping must occur Monday to Wednesday, though as mentioned earlier, the samples can be collected Sunday to Wednesday. Please keep the samples cool and ship them within 24 hours of collection. Samples collected on a Wednesday must be shipped the same day. Do not collect or ship samples Thursday through Saturday, as they will not be received and processed appropriately with the lab. Do not ship unused supplies. Place all previously bagged and labeled samples in the liner bag and tie it shut. Place an ice pack in the bottom of the insulated cooler box, add the samples in the liner bag, add another ice pack on top, and then use a filler, such as packing peanuts, if needed, to reduce dead space in the cooler and protect the samples from excessive motion. Close the lid of the insulated cooler box, place the white copy of the collection record on top of the cooler box lid, and secure the outer box with tape. Affix the provided shipping label to the outside of the box, being sure to remove or black out any extraneous labels on the outside of the box to prevent shipping confusion. The samples will need to be shipped to Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana within 24 hours. Again, only shipping Monday to Wednesday.